What's up, everybody? Fantasy, what's up, dude? So far, everything's working tonight. I'm nervous. It's all working okay. I even got my my Unreal down to. I've been using Unreal to run my dude here, and it's been running 100% of my CPU, and it's just been burning my computer up and making it crash. And I think it's only been using about 50% now, so I think I got it fixed. But it wasn't without its issues. Yeah, about 50 to 60%. But caused some issues on Unreal though that I had to tweak, so it was right up to the wire. But anyway, yeah, happy weekend, dude. Let's get crazy. You already started with some Anthony Wheeler getting us crazy, so let's do it. Right. I can zoom in a little. Got a little looky-loo stuff before we start too for some inspiration, because I'm a little rusty too. I haven't drawn in a few days just because of work stuff and getting this set up. So, but I wanted to start with some inspiration. It's cool at my work. I work at Blizzard, so there's a lot of creative people there, and unicorn frappuccino. Oh, that was yours? You know, I almost went and bought one today. But then I saw how much sugar it had in it. I was like, oh my god, I shouldn't, because I ate really bad last night. But I ended up just making coffee at home too, because I'm trying to save money, and I get Starbucks way too often. But I kind of wish I'd gone to get it now. But yeah, so we have this in our cafe, in our little kitchen area for our floor. We have a table where people just throw stuff out and it's for free to take, and they'll put out like random things, like people bring in fruit or something from their tree, or little books. They put out books and stuff, and they had these two there this week, which were kind of cool. Like I don't know, some people like Hellboy, some people don't. Hopefully this isn't too dark. I turned off this light because it gets a ring light glare on it. Let's see if it goes inside. Yeah, it still kind of gets it. I'll leave it off until I draw. But yeah, I love Hellboy 2. I know it's sort of polarizing. A lot of people don't like Hellboy 2 for whatever reasons, but I love it, and partly because of the whole troll market and all the designs. It is. What's up, man? Yeah. Woo, man. Speaking of which, I need to. There we go. All right. Oh man, we should have set up a co-stream for this, Navies. I've been wanting to co-stream with you. We've been chatting about it, but I've been having issues getting the stream going. I readjusted a bunch of stuff so that I can have a vertical stream, because I'm streaming on TikTok today. Can you believe it? Woo! Celebrate! No, I'm trying it out, but I had to do vertical streams, and I couldn't customize my vertical stream using StreamYard, which I used to use. So. But yes, anyway, back to it. Hello, TikTok people, if anyone's there. We'll see if it works. Oh, is it? Okay, let's do one either... I mean, I've been doing it every Friday. We could do it then if you want, or we could do one over the weekend too. Okay, we could do like a Saturday one if that's best. I don't know how a Friday would work for you at this time for work and stuff, but let me know. But yeah, so the free table at work, they put out like, so they put out books and stuff too. I grabbed these this week. Someone put out the Hellboy 2 Art of the Movie, which I love, because the whole troll market, it has so much good stuff in here. It has all these storyboards from it, which are like kind of in color too. It's like a full-on comic book. I love it. I wish there was tons more of it. Like, I remember I just got it, so I've only kind of glanced through this, but I wish they had more. Is it just those 2 pages? That's a bummer. Darn. Well, anyway, lots of cool designs in here, though. Oh, that's right, it's Sunday there. I forgot it's a day later, so... okay, cool. Yeah, well, let's try to do this day next week, then. We could try to make it happen. But yeah, we'll chat offline and set it up. I gotta figure out how to co-stream too. I might just use StreamYard like I used to, because I could just send you a link and you can log in and stream from it. But for now, yeah, because right now I'm not using it, but I can go back to it. I can send the signal to it. Yeah, oh, I love this guy. I didn't realize this guy wasn't from Hellboy. He was designed by Guillermo, the smoke guy. What's his name? Johan. Oh, was that his name? Johan, the smoke guy? But yeah, he was a cool design. I love that. These are really cool versions too. I would take a version of all of these. Hopefully this isn't in the way. There we go. Angle the camera a little bit, because my big body is in, my big man body is in the way of it. There we go. Ado, what's up, dude? Welcome. We're just looking at the Hellboy 2 Art of book here real quick. I got it free at work. Someone left it out, which was pretty awesome. No idea who. But a couple things I wanted to see specifically is I love that Johan designs the smoke guy, and also like the troll market stuff, and also that it was such a sad scene to me when they had to kill the forest god thing. Oh, these are cool. Maybe these were in the background of the troll market somewhere, a Strider. I'm not sure. That's a Mignola design though. From what I understand though is that Mignola didn't work on the second one that much. They were very collaborative on the first one, but then on the second one, it was actually in that Mike Mignola documentary that came out. He was talking about like, yeah, by the second one, Guillermo just kind of took over and was kind of doing his own thing with it, and he sort of discussed him with it. He's like, yeah, the first one we made, but this one I need to make it my movie. And I guess Mignola sort of understood that too, and he didn't necessarily disapprove of it, but he was having trouble getting his ideas through over Guillermo's ideas, so he kind of just stepped back and let Guillermo take over and do his thing. So, and I don't think he dislikes it. He said he likes the smoke guy too, but it's a good. If you guys haven't seen the Mike Mignola documentary, it's really good. I think it's on. Yeah, it looks like the things the Gelflings write. I think that's why I like it. Yeah, Hellboy Golden Army. But yeah, I think it's Monsters and Something, the Guillermo documentary, or I mean the Mignola documentary. Yeah, I wanted to see that forest god in here. Oh, yeah, here's some troll market stuff. Ooh, more boards. Yeah, more boards. I wish there were more of these. Even that thing was really cool. Trippy looking. Yeah, I like the whole idea of the Golden Army and like the elves that were like, when they die, they turn into ceramic. Okay, here's some more boards. They're just kind of scattered throughout. This is the one with the forest god, which is so sad. Here's the street corner of it. Man, they even like penciled throughout the whole corner market, which is weird. Usually that would just be like a 3D model or a digital painting by a concept artist. I wonder if that's Mignola drawing it. Wait. Usually credits to him. Let's see. Huh. Oh, here we go. An early draft of the script, the elemental was to have emerged from a giant tree. The tree would have sort of split open to reveal the elemental curled up inside. I thought the elemental was kind of cute. I like the idea of him sleeping in a tree. Oh, that's an interesting idea. Went through a lot of design changes. I think finally Del Toro drew a basic shape he liked, and I based those drawings on that shit. Okay, so Mignola designed these. That's cool. I didn't realize he designed so much of the forest god. Or the elemental, so... Oh, that'd be cool. I don't think I saw that one in theaters. The first one I did, but the second one I didn't. But I wish I had. I really like it. Oh yeah, and they ended up having it come out of like a bean or an egg thing in the end. Ooh, these are pretty cool. I just like forest creatures, like the Ents and stuff. And a friend of mine did a sci-fi book of these big walking creatures that were slow moving, like spiny creatures and stuff. That was really fun. Yeah, these are true. Oh yeah, here's the final design. It was so sad they had to kill it though. It was like the last one ever. But yeah, and here's some more boards and stuff when he has to shoot it. The whole baby thing was stupid though. He rescues that baby and he's holding the baby the whole time. Come on. I think the first one he rescued some puppies or something too. It's like, come on. Oh yeah, here he is, Johan. So cool. Oh yeah, it's where he breaks his hood and the smoke comes out and he like starts beating his ass. There anything. Yeah, Nadius and I have a deal. We're gonna co-stream together too, and you're not allowed, Robert. So, actually, we were thinking about just talking a minute ago about maybe doing a co-stream next Saturday around the same time. So, you know, maybe we could all hook up to do it. It'd be fun. But yeah, actually, since you're here, Rob, the other thing I was gonna look at from the free table is I got this for free, which was great. And then I got this, which was this Age of Ultron coloring book. I was actually asking if Rob, I'm not sure if I want to give it up or not. I'm kind of undecided now that I've been looking through it more, because I'm not really a Brian Hitch fan too much anymore. Like, I used to love his stuff, especially the Ultimates and everything before. But I've just kind of grown to like more stylized stuff, like this stuff, like the other thing I have, like Jim Mafu, which is like almost like polar opposite of this. So I don't think his work's gotten any worse. I just think my tastes have changed. So, wow, this is still pretty neat. So I don't know. I might have to renege on my promise a little bit, Robert, and keep it. I don't know. It's hard to say, but yeah, some of these pages are really cool though. Some of these you can tell where he statted in a city for the background though too. Some you can tell he drew it though. You can still draw a pretty amazing city. It's been a while since I read it. Is this from Ultimates 1 or Ultimates 2? It's hard to remember. Because Ultimates 1 was really great. But it's just great to see anything in black and white, which is why I grabbed this. These coloring books are great too. All the color your own. If you ever see these in the store, they even sell them at Walmart sometimes. I've never seen them in a comic store, but like if you see them at Target or Walmart, grab it. I have a Thor one. I have it's a Deadpool one. And most of them are just collections of like covers and art of like the main comic artists, some of the best ones, and it's printed in black and white like this. So it's like a secret way to get black and white prints of all this amazing artwork and stuff. Like the Deadpool one has like the original New Mutants, like 98 or whatever, printed in black and white in it. You know, it's like awesome stuff. You have to see, like maybe after I look at it, I'll be like, oh, okay, well I'm over it, and I'll send it your way. Like it'll be like a short-term inspiration to pass along, you know. Man, this is a crazy shot. Holy shit! I don't even remember this from the comic. Dude, I'd love to have a full-size version of this. They got a whole army back there. The city down here. Holy shit! Was this an Ultimates? I don't remember this at all. But that's pretty. Let's see. These pages aren't glossy, so I can turn on the lights, yeah. Doesn't get the ring light reflection there. Oh, they got, okay, I'll have to look for that. It's funny too, because like the other two of these I ordered from Walmart. Like I order groceries from Walmart sometimes, because some of their stuff's so cheap it ends up paying for itself with the money you save. It's what you pay for delivery. Well, that's not Brian Hitch though. Why is? Oh, I guess it's not a Brian Hitch book. It's just an Avengers book, but it happens to be mostly Age of Ultron stuff. But I lost track of what I was saying. Oh, I ordered them from Walmart with groceries. It's so weird. You can also order the Image Founders toys from McFarlane on Walmart. Oh, I just realized too, these have perforated edges too, so you could tear these out and frame them or put them up. Yeah, this must not be Ultimates. This is Age of Ultron. Sorry about that. But I like this stuff too. Was Age of Ultron before or after Ultimates? I'm so off on my timelines there. This horrible crayon coloring though, like as an example. Wait. I wonder if, okay, so this was put out for free by someone. I wonder if their kid like colored this in at one point. This wasn't how it originally came. That's funny. It's the only thing they colored in it though. I'm surprised. Maybe they were like, this doesn't look like an actual coloring book for kids. Like if I was a kid, I'd open this up and be like, Mom, I don't like this. It's like way too complicated. Oh, you want some? The toys are expensive, dude. They're like 40 to 50 bucks off Walmart. Like the Savage Dragon one is $45 on there. Because I wanted one of the Savage Dragons, and that's too much to pay for a toy for me. And they also have, I think, Spartan at Walmart, I saw. and one other. I can't remember the other one. I don't think they had a spawn though. Oh wow, they left the receipt in here. Can I see who bought it? I don't want to dox anybody. Let's see when this was bought. They spent $10 on it. Yeah, these are usually $10. So this was bought in 2015. Whoa, okay, from Barnes and Noble by someone named Erica in Huntington Beach. All right, that's kind of interesting. I like seeing that. That's funny. Wonder if I could bring this receipt and return it. Yeah, it's pricey. So, but also, I wanted to look at this stuff, which I haven't really looked at yet either. I got a Kickstarter in the mail from Jim Mahfood. His here we go. The Arachnid Enforcer. Let's zoom out a little bit. Good. Take a sip here. And I got the oops, hang on. But I got the cover done by Jonathan Wayshak. He's been a big influence on me lately, so I didn't know who Wayshak was at the time. This is kind of how I discovered him, which is crazy because Wayshak's amazing. I should have found him long before. But I saw this cover, so I ordered this, and I started looking him up, and then he was on the Ink Pulp Live with them one time, and I'm just all over his stuff now, so... Yeah, so this is Mahfood's book. He does one a year now. He did the Batman one, the Savage Street Vigilante. Well, you can't see it on camera, but I'm wearing a Jim Mahfood t-shirt too. Yeah, so in this year he did the Arachnid Enforcer, which is like a bootleg version of Spider-Man. And the Batman one was so good. And they're kind of all black and white with little spots of color. Yeah, just flip through. I'm not going to read it to you yet. Maybe I'll do a video on it. But, yeah, this stuff's so fun and inspiring. He's got so much movement in it. You know, people talk about Liefeld and like, I like this stuff. It's just got so much energy and movement. It's like, no, this has got movement and energy, and it has backgrounds, and it has anatomy. It's just like, this is what real comic book storytelling is, without a cop out, and it has just as much energy, if not more. So anyway, that's my Liefeld rant. Bye bye. Moving on. Been a lot of Liefeld ranting this week online. Yeah, he draws all with a parallel pen, sort of like Ashley Wood, if you've ever seen his stuff. But yeah, that's a big part of his style, is it's all drawn with parallel pen. He'll kind of rough it out with pencil, I've seen, and then he just goes in with big thick markers and parallel pens and draws it all out. So, oh man, that's awesome. I love his version of that guy. What does he call him in here? The Illusionist, okay. Oh, MF Doom. He's got a big hip hop history, so I'm not surprised he has an MF Doom cameo in there. But yeah, it's so great. Oh man, this is fun. Uh-oh, shoot, naked. Don't show that on stream. I'm gonna get banned. I wonder how lenient TikTok is for seeing boobs on stream or drawing body parts like that, if they kick you off as quickly as like Twitch or YouTube will. Oh, that's a cool pumpkin head, man. That's a cool page too. Wait, is this glaring from the... Sorry, I'm getting off the screen here again. Let's see if I... And now it's too dark. Let's see. There we go. Not glaring too bad. Alright. These glossy prints are hard with this ring light. It looks great on when I'm drawing art, but yeah, this is really cool. But yeah, he does like, well, he's not 100% parallel pen. He's like ballpoint pen, felt tip pen, and parallel pen. Yeah, this is cool. I can't wait to read this letter. There he is. It's such an interesting design. I actually did a fan art of it a while back too, of him. I think it's in this one. Oh, wait, no, that's the comic drawings. This one. Sorry. This one? There we go. Put this one. I think it's I did it like a year ago though, but they put it up on their stream. I liked how it turned out. Dang it, where is it? He-Man! I don't hate this one now though, I want to redraw it. But oh yeah, here's the one I did for Rob. This got inked by Chuck Gibson and it looks amazing. So... Oh shit! I thought I had it here. Oh, here it is. Yeah. Here's my Arachnid Enforcer. But yeah, because he kind of wears jeans wrapped up with boots, and he has like this striped shirt, like red and black striped shirt and stuff, and then he has sort of webbing on his sleeves. It's almost like a, you know, I don't know the story yet, but he's, you know, put it together just from stuff he had at home, sewed up and torn up. So, but yeah, it's pretty cool, and then just cool doodly stuff. They showed it online. They're like, this kind of reminds me of Mobius. I was like, ooh, I'll take that. Compare me to Mobius any day. And Anthony Wheeler always compares me to what's his name? I'm having a brain fart now. I'm on the spot. The Weapon X artist. Whoop. Yeah, I'm a big fan of Mobius, and it's been a big influence lately, so it kind of fits. Hang on one sec. Well, Barry Windsor Smith, duh. Which that fits too, especially with my rendering and stuff like this. But yeah, these are all analog though. Maybe I could sell these someday. I want to get some commissions going though too. So, I haven't done commissions in so long. Last time I did commissions was like 20 years ago. On you could just put it on eBay and you could get paid like $100 to $200 to draw a figure in pencil. And then last bit of show and tell here before we get to drawing is so there we go. One sec here. Okay. This is another thing I got from yeah, he is Barry Smith, man. Wish he wasn't such a grump. He's an old grump. Like there's someone I know online. He's an amazing kind of indie artist, and he started a group for Barry Windsor Smith fans, and he would just be posting art in there and talking about it and praising his art. And like Barry Windsor Smith would just go in there and like totally trash the guy and talk all this shit and like just be a total asshole to him, to the point where the guy's had a couple strokes and he's in a wheelchair, and he like still does art, and he's still amazing and cranks out these books, and he's just a super nice, awesome guy. And Barry just trashed the guy so much that he gave up ownership of he passed along ownership of the group and just bailed on it. Kind of bummed him out, which is really sad. But yeah, back to this though. The Ballpoint Slayer is something that Jim Mahfood also puts out on his own. I ordered it as an add-on to the Kickstarter, but you can get them on his site too. And this is the second one. Oh yeah, he always puts a custom sketch on the back too. I hadn't seen this one yet. That's cool. I like that little eye with the pyramid too. That's really cool. But yeah, this is basically just him freestyling like kind of his warm-ups each day. And most of these are done just with ballpoint pen, real loose. Or I'm sure he probably uses a parallel pen in here too. But yeah, it's just like kind of freeform doodling like I do sometimes, and get some really cool stuff in here. Oh, that's cool. That's some trippy anatomy for him too. He doesn't usually get that detailed. But it's crazy because he can draw really cute girls, but with these wonky lines and proportions, and they still look really pretty, you know? Or like sexy, I guess is more accurate. But I always love all his background stuff. I always do this too with my stuff. All these just kind of expressionistic lines coming off everything. I love that stuff. That's a very Mobius thing too. Ooh, Skeletor. Nice. Wonder if he actually drew this on lined paper or if he just scanned it and put it on there just for the effect. Never know. Just spilling out this random shit. I don't know for sure, but I think he might be doing a Ninja Turtles parody for his one for next year. He should be announcing it soon, because this is pretty much, since I got this in the mail, I think I'm at the tail end of fulfillment for it, so. Yeah, this is cool. Just craziness. Anyway, hope this isn't boring to flip them through, but I love this stuff. Oh, boobies. Don't look. Yeah, it's really cool. She's cute too, but it's weird, but it's cute. You know, same with this. And there's no roughing out, he just draws it out straight. That's a pretty awesome Conan. A derpy Conan. I guess just what's ever inspiring in those days. Yeah, totally, right? It'll probably be more of a parody of like the original Ninja Turtles, like the original black and white ones where they all looked the same, exactly the same, and it was all dark and gritty and violent, you know? Which would actually be fitting and pretty cool. New York Stadium, oh, that's an actual Spider-Man with the web. I always hated those webbings under the armpits. I don't know why. Ooh, Batgirl. Crash Movie Bonanza. I like that. I have a shirt of this too. He does a thing on YouTube with a friend of his who I think every couple weeks or once a month they do a thing where they watch old schlocky movies and just trashy movies. They'll each give each other a movie to watch in the same sort of genre, and then they'll talk about it and kind of make fun of it and laugh about it and stuff. Good part. Who's even got the three? Oh, I think he drew this on his Ink Pulp Live, I think. I'm pretty sure. Matt groaning. Yeah, if you guys see Ink Pulp Live, they do it once a month. It's great. It's Jim, Mahfood, and Sean Crystal, and a guest that they have on, and they have some pretty good guests too. And every once in a while, like Eric Canetti will pop in, or the other guy that does Ink Pulp with them. Man, I am like out of it today. I'm having brain farts on everything, but the Italian artist who does it with them, he's got the Fathers one coming out. Oh, is that kind of what they were based on? Frank Miller parodies? I don't know the history of it too much. I guess Dark Knight Returns days. Yeah. It's been so long though, and been through so many iterations of like funny and serious, especially nowadays with the Last Ronin. I think it can have its own parody now. But all right, let's get to it here. I'm gonna work on my sadly way behind version of the my chaotic draw along prompt, the Mysterious Clown Box. So, but I want to try to get a lot done on it tonight. But I gotta do a quick light box fix here. Where did I put the original page? Ah, I lost my page. Oh, there it is. Alright, well here's my progress on it so far. I hope you like it. Let me zoom in. Zoom out. Oh, I can't see my screen. There we go. Yeah, here's my progress. Do you guys like it so far? It's pretty good. Actually, I had it drawn and I just erased it. I'm gonna redraw it here. Ah, come on. I'm still fighting like what looks good in the horizontal and what looks good in the vertical. So, because I get a lot of people watching in the vertical, so I want to make sure it looks good there. But yeah, I had the box was too big, so I shrunk it down. I just made a little 3D model of it for quick perspective, and I'm gonna retrace it on there. Basically, what I'm doing for my Mysterious Clown Box is a version of the Lament configuration, which, let me pull out my reference here. The lament configuration, of course, is the Pandora's box thing from Hellraiser. And I have this, which I'm using for the inspiration. I can turn this back up. Let's see. There we go. My friend made this for me. He has this little base for it, which is cool too. Oh yeah, that actually makes more sense that it's the Daredevil one with all the ninjas. Yeah, because the foot and the hand. Yeah, Splinter stick. Yeah, that totally makes sense. That seems so obvious too, but I didn't even think of it. So I think Shredder was Silver Samurai. Oh god, Silver Samurai always got his ass kicked, but I guess Shredder did too. But Shredder seemed much more scary than Silver Samurai ever did. But yeah, so this is really cool. And I showed this on stream a couple weeks ago. If anyone saw it, apologies. But my friend printed this up with his laser printer, and it has it's this weird wood that's like it's like black, almost jet black. You can almost, if you really get some bright lights on, let's see, there we go, so you can really see it. You can sort of see some wood grain in it, but it's very dark brown. And he just printed all these prints on all the sides based on the original. And it just looks really cool. And he just printed it, and he printed a few of them. Yeah, this is the Lament configuration from Hellraiser. And so my friend made it for me. Well, he made a few of them, and he was selling them on his site, and I asked him, I was like, hey, how much for one of those? I'd like one. He's like, oh, here. And he just sent it to me. He's like, I'm sure you can pay me back with something equivalent, because we're both creative. I was like, okay, I can send you money even for shipping. He's like, no, just take it. And it was really cool of him, but it's been years now, and I haven't had anything to felt appropriate to give back to him. I sent him like a little 3D print that a friend of mine made of actually Pinhead. It was stylized, like blocky, which was neat, but it doesn't seem like a good payback. So I think once I finish this, I'm actually going to send him the original art for it, which I think will be kind of cool, especially since I'm using this as reference. But I'm doing Mysterious Clown Box, so I'm going to do this like that. Actually, I think I'll do this one. These two sides. And I'm going to put a little clown here. I was going to do a wind-up box, but I'm not going to do that, with like a clown popping out. But instead I'm just going to put like a weird clown design on the side there. And I don't want this wheel thing. But I'm re-lightboxing because I shrunk it down because I want to have room to have some like weird evil vines growing off it. Sort of like a, excuse me, Stranger Things sort of type of evilness growing off it. Yu-Gi-Oh? It's not as different. Okay, I don't know Yu-Gi-Oh that well, so that's interesting. I'll have to look it up though. Is it, if I just look for like box Yu-Gi-Oh, will it come up if I Google it? It's funny, I'm sitting here at my desk with my window open, but I'm just here by myself speaking, so people don't know I'm streaming. They're probably like, is that guy talking to him? Or just talking to himself. What a weirdo. Alright, so yeah, I just, I printed this out just so I could get the perspective real quick without having to, like, tape off perspective way off of here. I just kind of got generally what I wanted, so I'm just gonna, like, real quickly pencil it, but I'm not gonna make it super tight. Where's my tape? Millennium Puzzle, okay. I'll check that out, that'll be interesting. I want to see, I mean, I guess maybe it's inspired by it. I mean, the Hellraiser's been around for a while now. Alright, let's see, yeah. Try to get this centered up here. Lightboxing is boring, but I'll get it on there real quick. There we go. Now where's my pencil? There it is. Alright. Yeah, just for now. I'm gonna freehand draw it when I ink it. So I kinda wanted to have that feel, like kinda loose, but I'm just gonna pencil it with a ruler now just for the guide. But I kinda like Daniel Warren Johnson does this a lot too, and his stuff's kinda loose. A lot of other guys do this. If they're using any real reference like this, like a photo or just ruling off real perspective with the rulers and everything, when they ink it, they'll still do it freehand, you know, carefully, but it still has a wobbly enough line that it kind of matches the looseness of the rest of the art, which I'm a big fan of that these days. That's kind of what I mostly do. Whoop, there you go. I might... Circles are hard to do in perspective, though, which... Whoa. Was it a manga or an anime before it was a card game? Where that storyline was going on? Let's see. I'm gonna grid this off for perspective as well. Just guessing on the perspective here, but close enough. Oh, wait, I'm gonna have to check that out, because that does sound really bizarre, but interesting. Interesting, my perspective doesn't line up with the circle perfectly, but it's centered in the 3D model, so, but I think the perspective is just kind of wonky too. Well, actually, it's also outset too, so it would probably be over here. So that actually is probably accurate, because I actually have a shadow underneath here, because in the 3D model I have this sticking out, but I don't want it sticking out anymore. We'll have like an edge, but that's it, so I think that'll be okay. That'll actually probably be more correct. Alright. Wonder if it's on Crunchyroll. Yu-Gi-Oh! We have a Crunchyroll subscription. Okay, let me just get my horizon line. Still need to work on your perspective, yeah. I've always been pretty decent at perspective, but I've had to sort of relearn it a little bit because doing it by hand versus on computer, like, it still takes the same skill as a computer, but sometimes just being able to have your lines snap to the perspective grid will sort of help you, you know, kind of just cut down on the thinking part and the time it takes. So now I'm like, oh, I can't really make it snap, so I'm gonna have to figure out this this part of like certain parts of like 3-point perspective. And a lot of the time I'll do 2-point perspective as well, so I can just have all the vertical lines going straight up. All right, let's get this back on. All right, let's do this again. We're adjusting the camera because of the stupid animated guy at the bottom just getting in the way. All right, cool. Oh, one more thing I gotta do. Another thing about getting my computer being less of a GPU hog on my system while it's running is this room is much cooler right now because I sit right next to my computer at my legs here, and I have to turn my fans up to full, and they'll sort of adjust based on how hard the computer's working. And you know, all the previous streams I've done with this character on the Unreal Engine just makes it run at 100% even if you're not doing anything in it. So I've been doing all these tweaks on it all afternoon to try to cut it down. I think it worked now. So, but it's plus when I look away from the camera, it stops animating. When I look to the side to check, his head freezes. But then when I look back, because I have a camera mounted on my art desk, but my camera's off to the left side here. All right. Let's see. Did you hear that? We were in the Anthony Wheeler stream today, and got a big old discussion going on ADHD in there, which was kind of cool. Excuse me. Let's see. Turn this light up a bit. Actually, hang on. Let me do one more thing. It's weird how streaming makes you change how you draw and recording, because like I usually draw. Plus, the way I learned to ink too. Like I'm always trying to do my arm like this so I can get smooth lines. So I'll like be turning my page all around so that I'm always doing this motion wherever the line goes. But I can't do that on streaming, because if I'm recording and I speed it up, it just makes you nauseous trying to watch it all sped up. And streaming, I keep moving it out of the camera while I'm drawing and stuff. So you gotta tape it down and keep it the same direction. Gotta adjust. Oh, it's so tough being an influencer. All right, it's going. So yeah, I gotta I'm gonna do these things. See, 1, 2, 3. Okay, so that's kind of. This will be cool because I don't have to be exact with these. I'll just kind of do my own little trippy doodles in there. Oh. Hang on one sec here. My wife just tried to calm me. Just seeing what's up. She's out of town for work on a trip in Dallas. We can't see that on stream. Oh, okay. Sorry about this. She's got a bid for her schedule next month, but we're going to BlizzCon for my work, the Blizzard convention, and she's got to take days off for that. Let me see. I just got to look up the dates real quick. Sorry about this, but anyone in LA or anyone Blizzard fans going to BlizzCon? If so, let me know. We can meet up there. I'll be working BlizzCon Sunday morning, and I'll be attending on Saturday. Be some huge announcements too for anyone that's a Blizzard fan. There's 2 major announcements that are gonna be huge. All right, sorry. Let's see. BlizzCon 20. Oh, it's September 12th and 13th. Yeah. Which I think the tickets are already sold out. So if you don't already have tickets. Yeah, I just had to. Sorry about that. I had to say hey because she's in Dallas. She's hours ahead, but also she has to fly back really early. She works for United Airlines, so she goes to bed really early. So, okay, cool. So yeah, I'll call her once the stream's done. I want to make sure we'd be in bed. All right, let's see. Yeah. So now this side, I'm not. Weird. I want another clown over there. It's like there's this side, but that's like way too complicated. I don't want to try to unlock that. Let's see here. I think I'm gonna go with this. Yeah, it's pretty much just that or that, so probably just go with that. Actually, yeah, so. Just got a little border edge there. So I'm gonna do that little diamond thing it has. I know. You could have come over. Pull out the poppers. Oh wait, no, sorry. Did I say that out loud? I shouldn't be making these videos. Revealing things about me. Yeah, she's out of town a lot though, so we'll have more opportunities. Flight attendant life. Yeah, they're all pretty complicated looking. This one's not too bad though. I think I might. Maybe it won't be a clown itself, but like a clown horn or something. Let's see. So then it's got the. Hopefully these aren't too wonky. I'm just kind of eyeballing it. But with the perspective guides generally. Alright, I think, yeah, that's it. And then, so let's see, what's associated with clowns? There's a clown horn. Like what would be another symbol that would be associated with clowns? Red noses and oversized shoes. I don't really would work good as a oh yeah, they have the horn honkers or the squirting maple flowers. I wonder if the flower would work good. Or what would be a... or what does Pennywise carry around with him? Clown balloon... Oh, I think balloons might work, actually. Yeah, clown car would be kind of complicated, because there's got to be a little simple logo, kind of like a clown head. But yeah, I think balloons would actually be good. Like, I think that'd be cool, yeah. Oops, gotta make sure the perspective's right though. It's a hard angle, it's a extreme angle, so. Now that I told my wife that I'm streaming, I wonder if she's lurking on here watching. See if I talk any smack. Like, oh, the old ball and chain's texting me now. Hang on, guys. No, but I'm the codependent one, so I'm always like, no, call me and text me more. I've heard that's wanting her to call me more. But I don't think it's possible for her to stay in touch too much for me. I'm the codependent baby in the relationship. Hey, wifey. Oh, he carries children's. Wait, does he? I don't remember that. God, some things I don't notice. I'm really out of it. Alright, So I think for a clown, I want it to be like, let's see. I don't know if I should do like the curly wig or like the jester hat. Jester hat might be better. Oh, okay. Oh, so yeah, you're just assuming that's what he cares. I wouldn't be surprised though. Gives the kid a little gift box, and it's the teeth of a kid he recently abducted. Did you watch the TV series based on it? Forgetting what it was called off the top of my head. It was really good though, I thought. I'm gonna do the clown face. Yeah. Big. And I like these do these always kind of creepy clown eyes with those. Welcome to Derry. Well, it's welcome to Derry, but it's not spelled like dairy milk. Kind of funny though to think of that. Yeah, D-E-R-R-Y, the town of Derry. Did you like it, or did you watch it? I just wanted to hit undo just now. I was like, undo real quick. Get the right perspective for his mouth there. Yeah, that would actually work pretty well. Anyways, the milk delivery man. Okay, hang on. Sorry, I gotta redo this. This isn't working. It's too big. It's too big. Get the overall shape there. So it makes the look too small. I don't know what the song is, but hang on, I'm gonna switch this up. One sec here, I'm just changing this up. Albums. like Portlandia here. Yeah, stupid holograph. Where is that? I'm trying to find the album with this on it. What album is you? Yeah, go to album. Black Leader, okay. There we go. There we go. Love this album. Something that's not scary, like Welcome to Derry, is Portlandia. Okay, by the way, Fantasy, you didn't realize how good you were at likenesses. Those drawings of people you've been doing are good. Yeah, Egbert, I totally recognized too. I saw it show up on my feed this morning. I saw Egbert for the first time on stream the other night too when we were both on there chatting. Just playing that funny like sex game. Or try to have sex game. Romance game, I guess. Hang on, I don't like this edge here. God, who would have thought a tiny clown logo would be what it work? That'll work. So I'll probably have this be a solid piece, and then it'll just have the lines carved into it for this shape. And then these will have a little bit of a border. I wonder if anyone's watching on TikTok. I so barely use TikTok. I just started doing it, but I know there's some other art streamers that do really well on TikTok, so it seems like a good place for artists to kind of show art, and jump down with that. I don't know if I'm actually live or not. I don't even know. Yeah, I'm not sure it's actually working. It says it's live, but I don't think it is. see anything on there, so don't think it went live. Oh wait. Yeah, it's not. Well, I'll have to try it again sometime when I'm not. I'll just try it on there instead of streaming to everyone. Like when I was trying to get this stuff working last weekend, and I had to keep starting and stopping the stream because the whole problem was it's sending the signal to the different streaming platforms, and so I couldn't really test it without actually launching a live stream. I think Nadius jumped on. He's like, "Dude, I'm getting like tons of notifications." Because like every 5 minutes I turn it off and turn it back on. Wait, spare people of that this time. I actually haven't even checked if it's probably not working on Twitch because I don't see anyone from Twitch here. Might just be on YouTube this time, even though it says it's streaming, but I'm not sure it is. Let's see here. Oh, no, it's live. Okay, cool. So Twitch is working. Okay, so only TikTok isn't working. So that's fine. That's new anyway. Most important to me are Twitch and YouTube, so I'll make sure those are working. I think over the next half of the year, I'm going to start doing a lot more streaming too, more than just once a week if I can. If I can work it, it's tough schedule-wise though, but because I don't know if anyone's heard, for people that want to stream, like YouTube just changed a whole bunch of rules to become monetized on their platform. Like basically all their, like, you know, when you're streaming, you have to reach these milestones in order to be eligible for a partner to start getting paid. Like something like 1,000 followers. I've got like 300 and something right now, and like a certain number of watch hours or shorts views, one or the other. And then you start getting paid and other things. But all those numbers come next, I think it's next February, are gonna go up, and they're like doubling. It's all doubling, and it's gonna be a lot tougher. So I want to, over the next few months, try to get subscribers up and a lot of view hours in, so I can try to get into the partner program for YouTube before that goes up. Because if you get it before then, even just right before, they'll just grandfather you into it, and you don't have to meet. They won't. You don't have to be reevaluated at the new numbers to get in it again. You'll just be grandfathered in. So try to get in while it's easier. All right. I want this bottom one to be a little thicker. And now, rough out some vines and things. I want like tentacles or vines or something to be coming, like kind of growing out of the ground it sits on, just because it's so evil. So. Oh, weird. Hey, are you still here, Fantasy? Are you on Twitch or are you on YouTube? Or were you on both? I was just making sure Twitch was going, and I saw some of your old comments on there from Twitch, but then maybe you switched over to YouTube. Check it. Send myself a text and see. Okay, it shows up. I'm just making sure I'm getting the chat feed from it. So, and I am. Most chatters tonight are on YouTube. So I'm all paranoid now when I don't see something. I'm like, oh god, it's not working again. What other evil things would come out? Just be like spikes and stuff. Yeah, like a big thick one. Yeah. That's good. That's what I want. That's kind of what it is. Like if the lament configuration showed up in it. Yeah, Egbert's fun. That guy, he's funny. Funny guy too. I want to cover the clown face though. A big thick one that can have some like spikes and stuff in it. A lot of this I'll probably just go in and kind of freestyle doodle a lot of this stuff too, just for fun. Yeah, lots of little spikes sticking off of these. Well, do you really want to find out, Fantasy? I mean, have you seen what happens when you open the box on Hellraiser? It's not necessarily anything in it. It's what comes after you open it. Wasn't there supposed to be a Hellraiser TV series coming out? Like a couple of years ago I heard about it. Did that ever happen? Did I just miss it? Or did it just not happen? I was actually looking forward to it. Or did I just completely miss it? I just remembered it now, actually. I hadn't thought of it in a while. Mello, what's up, dude? All the cool peeps are here. I'm drawing a chaotic brawlong prompt, Mello. I'm doing the it's called the Mysterious Clown Box. And I'm doing a clown version of the lament configuration with my little reference object here. So, I think I mean, my friend sent me this and never charged me for it or asked for anything. Except, you know, maybe a creative thing back or something. I've never had anything I thought fit, but I think I want to send him this original art once it's done, since I used it for reference, even though it's not an exact drawing of the lament, but it's pretty much there. My TikTok username is, but yeah, I'm pretty sure it's not streaming, even though it says streaming in my OBS. My name is, oh, it's, okay, let's see. Let me show you here, this piece of scrap paper. It's Gingerbear, but all the like variations of Gingerbear were taken, so it's actually called, just write it here, this is how it's spelled, it's with J's, so it's There you go. That's my TikTok username. Oh, okay, yeah, 2020 is about probably when I heard of it. Development hell. Damn, that's too bad. That could have been really cool. I thought it would happen too, because they did a Evil Dead TV series with Bruce Campbell, and it actually did pretty well. I watched like the first season of it, and then I kind of was like, lost interest, but it was good for a bit, and it was successful from what I understand. So. I wonder what to do in the sky here too. I might just kind of have some like trippy stuff going on up here. Not sure. $11 Hellraiser movies has it been? You know, is that what you're saying? Oh, 11 Evil Dead movies. Is that what you're saying? Which one? Evil Dead 11 movies or Hellraiser? Because I know there's been a lot of both. Yes, which one though? That delayed a little bit. Alright. Time to go into inks. Let's go in. I'm gonna start with my felt tip, yeah. Check this up here. Cool, Malin. Yeah, good to see you. And thanks for popping in. Yeah, you're more of an early guy, too. I miss your streams a lot because you start pretty early. But, yeah, take care, man. See you later. So I'm just getting my felt tip pen working. I use this now. It's a refillable felt tip pen, and it's great, but it... 11 Hellraiser movies. Oh, okay. Oh yeah, they are. Oh, that's a good idea, Fantasy. I might actually use that because, like, you could make the springy things come out like, you know how they have the springy stuff, so it makes them look kind of like. Let's see if I can figure out how to do that. Make it kind of wrinkly like that or something, maybe? I don't know if that would work or not. I'm doing a little test here. I'll do like a combo of it or something. It can kind of be textured, but then at the bottom it could have it, but like just kind of. maybe closer to the base it can have kind of more of this stuff. Let's see. Oh, gotcha. I wonder, are you at the live part on Fantasy, or are you behind a bit? Because I asked that a little while ago. You might be a little bit behind on that stream, like I do with the Anthony Wheeler stream all the time. I realize I've been answering stuff that's like 20 minutes late. You're only like a couple minutes behind, but yeah, I think probably like 2 or 3 minutes behind maybe. I don't want you answering old stuff. We've moved on there, bro. Yeah, spring like. Let's see, actually, while we're thinking of it, I'm gonna bring that up. Clown spring snakes. Yeah, get some images up here. A lot of snakes. I don't need actual snakes. Like they got this one that's just kind of wrinkly though. You can't really see the springs in it though. Maybe I'll just do that occasionally. It doesn't show the like bends from the spring as much as I thought it would. Maybe I could just do that at the base a little bit or in certain areas and then kind of spread it out from there. And yeah, maybe I'll make them, instead of making them thin out into little tips like this, maybe I'll just make them kind of end as like springy things at the end. That would actually be kind of cool. Thanks, Fantasy. That's a good idea. Yeah, so these I'll just have it like the end of the springy thing there. Yeah, that'll be cool. Even just that flat end will be more indicative of what it is. But it will have spikes still coming out of it too. Okay. Oh yeah, so all of these actually, that'll be kind of a cool kind of visual aesthetic of it too. No pointy vines at the end. They're all flat on the end, which is actually kind of cool. Ooh, I like the hive mind design method like this with you guys. Come up with better stuff. All right. Yeah. Oh yeah, so I use this felt tip pen I was saying, but it's got a ink converter like felt tip pens have. Oh shit, it's almost out. Hang on, I gotta fill it. No wonder it was. Usually after it's sat for a bit, it gets a little dry, and I just have to wet the tip, and it starts going. But today it was being a little stringy. But now I know why. It's because it's out of ink. But I can fix that. Syringe. I got the ink, but I don't have a flat surface, so I can't do it on camera. But yeah, 11 Hellraiser movies. That kind of makes sense, though. I mean, I didn't know there were that many, but I have seen, I think, like 6 or 7 of them. And past the first couple, I think they're pretty bad. Except for, so there's one that it doesn't even really have to do with a pinhead or anything. It's like kind of these underground sort of like creepy people. Yeah, hang on one second. but it was the director. It was actually one of my favorite ones of all the later movies, though. And then I found out later, it was directed by the guy that directed the first Doctor Strange movie. It was sorry. And I remember this stuff all the time, but then when I get on stream, like I can't remember anything. It was Doctor Strange. Yeah, I love the first Doctor Strange. Actually, it's one of my favorite Marvel movies. Not the favorite, but one of my. Oh yeah, Scott Derrickson. So he directed that, and he had directed Day the Earth Stood Still beforehand, which is actually I worked on that movie and I met him. I was oh yeah, they are pretty freaky fantasy. They could definitely mess with you because they're not like jump scare; they're more psychological kind of and body horror. But yeah, so I met Scott and I was doing previs on it and pre-production stuff, and I had to come in and work one weekend just by myself, working on a bunch of shots for him, and he kind of came into the office with me. Oh yeah, 20 minutes ago, nice. Yeah, taking forever to respond. Yeah. But yeah, so I was hanging out with Scott, and he actually just came in because he wanted to like kind of look at every time I'd get a few shots done, he'd kind of give his notes on it because we were sort of on a deadline. And he just kind of came in and he played online gambling games on a computer in the corner while I worked on shots, and then like once an hour or something, he'd kind of glance at what I was working on. Now I lost the cap to my ink syringe. Dang it! What the hell? There it is. Roll away. But yeah, he was actually a pretty nice guy too. And when he was pitching, before he did Doctor Strange, he was at Fox pitching something else after Day the Earth Stood Still, and he was yeah, I saw him and I just said, hey, that's the last time I saw him, but he was actually pretty friendly. And oh yeah, this is working so much better now, this pen. So this is how the lines were looking before, even after I primed it, but now I refilled it with ink, and now it's like, yeah, now it's really full. Now it's the pen I remember. Nice. Okay, now I'm ready. I'm ready. My son. But yeah, it was funny. He actually left, and I looked. He left the screen open, and I looked how much money he had in his online gambling account. It was something like $20,000 or something that he had in his like bank there he could pull from for gambling. So I was like, whoa, that's a director for you. Day the Earth Stood Still was a terrible movie though, and I feel bad for him. Fox was kind of known at that time for hiring a director on, and less shadow. There we go. Does it still look okay? Okay. They would hire on directors and let them work on the movie. Then they'd get about 3/4 through the movie, and all of a sudden, the executives would step in and be like, you know, they'd basically take the final cut of the movie away from them. They'd start making all these demands and trying to pressure them into doing all this stuff that the executives wanted that are actually usually terrible ideas. But then it gets to the point where they take the final cut away from the director and really fuck their movie all up. And that's kind of what happened with Day the Earth Stood Still. But also, they made him add all these sort of action scenes. It was supposed to be this sort of, you know, it was still different from the original Day the Earth Stood Still, but it was supposed to be more of a psychological thriller, and it was really creepy. I saw some early sequences of it, and it was really creepy. I thought it was going to be cool, because, long story short, circling back, the reason I'm bringing this up is because my favorite Hellraiser movie was one of the low-budget ones, and it was directed by him, and it was really creepy. He did some other horror movie too early in his career, so he's good at directing horror movies, or like not horror, but like, well, like creepy, scary movies, like Hellraiser, you know, that type. And so yeah, and I think that he could have done a really cool Day the Earth Stood Still, but they were making him do all these action scenes, like they wanted Gort to be like, and I had to previs a sequence, or like, and it's in the movie, but they demanded that he make an action sequence at the end where Gort's in Central Park with like drones flying around him, shooting missiles at him, and he's shooting him down with his eye lasers, and they even wanted him to have some new, this finally got shut down thankfully, but he wanted him to make Gort have some new superpower where he could make a force field that he could move away from himself too, like a dome. It was really stupid and had made no sense at all. Thankfully that got shot down, but they still had to do the Central Park battle. And when he, comes alive in this underground facility and breaks out, that was actually supposed to be more kind of scary too, like taking over people's minds inside the facility, but then they had to turn it into this big battle with the military outside, where he sends all these like nanites around to disintegrate all the vehicles, which is another one I pre-vised for it. It's fun to pre-vis, but I think they kind of ruined the movie though. But yeah. But anyway, yeah, that's my little name dropping thing too. I have spent a weekend hanging with Scott Derrickson while he gambled in the corner. He was actually really cool to work with though. He was very collaborative if I had little ideas for the shots we were working on. It was actually the battle outside of the facility where they were keeping Gort that he breaks out of. That battle is what I was working on at the time, and that's actually why we were there over the weekend, because we were out of time. It's like a whole giant action sequence being added to the movie late in the process. You don't have time for that, so we had to crank it out fast. So we were both in there over the weekend getting it done. Yeah. I mean, I did about 16 years of previs and film before I went to like animation and games, and I had a few, which was pretty cool. Like, I've met Michael Bay several times, which it's not a positive experience. The guy's a dick. But I will give a story. I went to the Noman School of Visual Effects to kind of get into effects and stuff down here in LA. That's why I moved here. And my final term, you're kind of, taking classes more specific to what you want your job to be and like to get your reel put together. And so I took a previs class, and it was very niche. There were only like 5 people in the class, and I think a lot of people thought it would just be some easy class, but it's actually really hard because you get a storyboard, then you got to edit it together, add sound, then you got to do 3D shots for every storyboard you have and edit together and do revisions. And yeah, I liked it because I discovered, a couple people could do an entire animated action sequence in like a couple or 3 weeks by themselves, and I was like, whoa, that's like, I love storytelling like that, instead of spending several weeks working on a single shot or something, that sounded way more fun. So I was very focused on it, but like everyone else in the class copped out and either stopped showing up or just didn't do the work. I was the only one that did it, that lasted past the storyboard part. I did the whole thing. I did a full edit with sound effects. I even did some revisions. I did the story animatic and kind of aced the class because that's what I was really fired up to do. But it worked out because my teacher had his own previs company called Persistence of Vision. His name was Brian Poole. And he was getting ready to start on the first J.J. Abrams Star Trek film that he did, and with Chris Pine and stuff. And about 3 weeks before the class ended, which was graduation, he hired me on for the movie. Because I did so well in the class, and, he could tell I was way into it. So that was really cool. So I actually got a job out of it too. So that goes to show you, make sure you work hard when you're in school. But yeah, long story short, brush with fame is so my first day I started there, I went into the production offices and set up my computer, and I was sitting there, and just after lunch, J.J. Abrams himself comes in just to hang out with us and shoot the breeze and meet the new crew. And it was literally my first day on the job of my first film gig. I'm sitting in a room with me, this guy Chad, my supervisor David, and J.J. Abrams, and we're just talking about t-shirts and stuff, and we're just like shooting the breeze with J.J. Abrams. I was like, what? This is so weird. I was trying to keep my cool. But yeah, I found out at the time he used a company called Blue Cotton. Like J.J. Abrams wore T-shirts all the time, like at work and stuff. Generally, when he's not dressed in like the shirt and sport jacket like Hollywood execs do, you know, his casual outfits. But he would make all his own shirts, and he made them all through Blue Cotton, which was interesting. And I was stoked to hear that because I like to do the same. A lot of my T-shirts I wear are ones I made myself, but I just make them made to order on ePublic. Oh, this album looped. Excuse me. No, I did remember it though, because I'll always tell that story. It was really cool. Um, but yeah, Star Trek was cool. I actually got to go on set a couple times. I got to see the shot of like Leonard Nimoy and Chris Pine when they were in the snow coming out of that cave. They were shooting it with fake snow on a big set over in Dodger Stadium. So it was like a sunny day out, but they had fake snow blowing, which was cool. And actually, when I was there watching, Tom Cruise showed up to set just to visit with J.J. Abrams. So I was like 10 feet away from J.J. Abrams, and Tom Cruise was sitting there hanging out with them. I was like, holy shit, this is my first movie. It's all downhill from here. It doesn't get any cooler than this. Which is sort of true, actually, because J.J. Abrams was a really cool guy, really nice to work for, too. So it's still one of my best film experiences. Not that I haven't had good ones, but that's still one of the best. I got to go to the rap party, and I got to see Chris Pine and the guy that plays Spock were completely drunk. And I met the writer in the line waiting for the bathroom. I was just standing there. I was like, oh, so what'd you do on the movie? And it's like, oh, I'm the writer. I'm like, oh. No, but he was completely drunk, too. It was hilarious. Everyone was shit-faced. So I don't want to smear this. But also, he was one of the actors at the Academy. He wasn't like one of the main cast, but he's this Irish guy, and he was in Stargate Atlantis. He was the Doctor, the Irish guy, if anyone watches Stargate Atlantis. And he was there with his agent, and like they were drunk too. And I was there with my ex-girlfriend. So my ex-girlfriend and I had broken up shortly after I finished school at Noman, and I was working on Star Trek. And we broke up. We kind of stayed friends. Took some space and moved out from each other. But then, she had worked and done a really shitty job to support us while I was in school full time for 18 months on Star Trek. At Noman, before I worked on Star Trek. So when I got an invite to the rap party at Paramount Studios, I invited her to go with me, even though we'd broken up. Because it's a cool thing to do, and she deserves that after working while I was in school having fun. She was like working a shit ass job. It was so stressful. So yeah, she went on. So we got to this point where, like, partway out, I was outside smoking this cigar. They had these big cigars they were just giving you for free, and I was out there talking to that actor, the Irish guy, and his agent, who was this really pretty tall blonde woman. And I was kind of hanging out with her, chatting with her, and my ex-girlfriend was there, and that dude totally started hitting on my ex-girlfriend and like gave her his number. I was like, no way, that's so cool. I was like, you should definitely call him. Like, if you started dating him, that would be nuts, That would be hilarious. Yeah, I love Stargate Atlantis. Speaking of people hitting on your spouse, there's another one too. It's You guys know who David Ketchner is? He's the sports guy from Anchorman. Here's his picture. This guy. Oops, recognize him? Yeah. It's like, I love you, man. Can I come over and hang out, and we could have waffles and cuddle or something like that, you know? It's like, I love you, man. But that actor, he hit on my current wife, and gave her his number, which is scandalous because he's married and has a house up near a friend of mine in North Hollywood. So he was, well, who knows? They might have an open marriage. I don't know their situation, but he definitely was married with kids at the time too. So, and he invited her to his apartment in Hollywood, which was not his house that he lives in with his family. So, but yeah, of course she didn't go to the house, but it is a fun story. So, I date all these hot women, and the celebrities just want them all. Just kidding. It was kind of neat though. I was like, oh hey, they're hitting on my girlfriend or wife. I wasn't jealous. I was more kind of honored. I was like, yeah, but she's gonna come hang out with me later though, not you. Sorry, Mr. A-list celebrity. Scandalous, yeah. The Ketchner guy, that might be a little scandalous, like if I reported that to like TMZ or something and had proof of it. I mean, he did legitimately cheat on her. I mean, this was years ago now, so, but she did have his name and phone number, so they could have like double checked it, but we'd never do that, you know. She also got the number of if you guys know a band called Calm Trues, kind of like a kind of breakbeat synthwave band. He's really cool. It's just one guy. We went to see his show one time, and he was like kind of the opener for another band, or like he played first and this other band came on. And afterwards, he was out on the floor watching the other band play. Calm Trues was, and he started sort of talking to my wife then too. So I noticed what was going on, so I kind of just backed up and let them talk, you know, just to see what would happen, because, you know, we're kind of like that. We don't really get jealous like that, so it's more kind of entertaining, you know. And yeah, so he ended up giving her his number too, so, and like she texted with him a little bit too. I was kind of like, yo, maybe you should just go on a date with him. Just because we both were really into Calm Trues at the time, so I was like, you know, I give you a hall pass for Calm Trues. Yeah. Learning all our dirty secrets. Actually, I'm gonna do the Anthony Wheeler here and another pen for some thicker edges. I missed that earlier message. Sorry, Zachary Quinto played Spock. Yeah. I actually I got to go on set one time when like most everybody was at lunch, so they told our previs crew, which was just working above the stage where they were shooting it, they had the bridge of the Enterprise built just down below us, and they let us go walk through it. And it was interesting because it was actually at a point when the Enterprise had been hit by big Borg-built ship, and there was all kinds of debris on the ground too that we had to step around. You know, we couldn't mess it up because they need continuity between shots. But there was no one there except us and a few crew, you know, like doing lighting and setup and stuff. But really cool to see the bridge in person, man, because like everything was practical in there, all the screens and everything. They actually had a whole row of computers behind this like wood wall just offset, it was like a whole computer setup that was meant just to run all the screens and control panels on the Enterprise, because they were all real. None of it was like CG'd in on green screens. It was all actually displayed on those panels, and they had them all running off screen there. So that was pretty neat. And so yeah, we were walking through there seeing that, and then as I was leaving, there was like this narrow sort of walkway. Yeah, it kind of was, because I'm a huge Star Trek fan, so. And I wished I could just sit there all afternoon and check it out. But as I'm walking off, like the Enterprise thing is sort of built a couple feet off the ground so that they can have all the cables underneath going under and then trailing off to the sides, like kind of to those computers running the panels and lights and things like that. And so to avoid all the wires, there's like this kind of bridge walkway that they built out of wood to walk off the bridge off to the side of the stage there. And it's about wide enough for like 1.5 people. So as I'm walking away, and walking towards me is Zachary Quinto in full Spock garb, walking to the set. I'm not sure why he was even there, because no one else was there at the time, but he was fully dressed up and walking by. I was just like, I was blown away, man. I didn't say anything to him, but I got really close to him because we both had to turn sideways so we could fit by each other. Man, he looked stop motion to hello from the bear, the Gingerbear. Welcome, thanks for stopping by. We're just talking about when I worked on the original J.J. Abrams Star Trek a little bit, my name dropping. But yeah, so seeing Zachary Quinto in that full Spock makeup and everything, he looked like almost kind of scary. He was very intimidating. So yeah, that was cool to see. That was the only time I saw him though, until him and Chris Pine were singing drunk karaoke with cigars on the stage at the rap party, which was pretty fun too, because they were completely shit-faced and just joking around. And it was just for the crew and everything, so it wasn't like a public party, so they could just kind of be goof-offs and not have to be proper or anything. That's actually the only rap party I've ever been to as well, so that's another reason why it's one of my best memories from working in movies. Because after that, they stopped inviting me because they thought I was an asshole. No, I'm just kidding. No, the problem with previs though is I was doing previs, which, if people don't know what previs is, so I'll give a sip. Like, previs is me doing, if there's an action scene in a movie, I didn't brush against him. I was too scared. He's not a big guy either. I was much bigger than him, but he still looked intimidating. Like, I'd be scared he'd actually use the Vulcan neck pinch on me if I bumped into him. He looked legit. Oh! Alright, sorry. Sidetrack one more time. One more name drop. The guy that played his father in Star Trek, I forget Spock's father's name, but that actor, my wife's in my favorite sushi restaurant. It's called Shintaro. It's over by the Hollywood Bowl here in LA. One sec. I'm gonna do this too. Don't tell anyone. Oh, sorry, this is not sharp. I'm sorry about that. I zoomed out and I forgot to focus. I do the manual focus because every time I do autofocus, it always focuses on my hand instead of the art. But can you hear that? Man, you can tell I have ADHD because I've been all over the place with what I'm talking about, because I was talking about ADHD earlier too, and I had a reason because I was going to talk about the pot. But first, yeah, so Spock's father, so our favorite sushi restaurant is called Shintaro, and we always go there like for our anniversary and stuff. We were actually just there for our 14-year anniversary a couple weeks ago, and we've seen other celebrities there. It's a really good sushi restaurant. It's a little pricey, but we've seen Joaquin Phoenix there. We've seen some other people, but we were at the sushi bar eating, And this guy beside me looked kind of familiar, but I hadn't clocked him yet. It was this British guy. He was clearly an actor of some sort, though, and he was there with his agent. And his agent was sober, but the actor himself, was totally shit-faced and like just joking around and being goofy and loud. And my wife and I started talking to them, and then I realized a couple minutes into it, I was like, holy shit, that's Spock's father. That's Sarek. Oh my god, that's Sarek. Because I really liked him and that actor playing him. So yeah, and we started joking around with them, just chatting while we were all eating sushi, and they started giving us pieces of sushi to try. He's like, oh yeah, this piece is really good. You should try this. Here. And he would like give us pieces. I'm like, oh my god. But he started getting like almost like really loud and sort of out of control, and his agent was kind of like, all right, man, calm down. Nothing bad though. He was just, drunk people can be a little obnoxious and loud sometimes, They don't think they're being loud, but a quiet restaurant, they're kind of loud. So he wasn't saying anything scandalous or anything, though, and he didn't hit on my wife like most celebrities do. No, but that was really cool to meet that guy. And just I can say, oh, Sark gave me a piece of sushi. So, but anyway, I forgot what I was saying before I got sidetracked on that. I did remember earlier though, because I smoked a little weed just now, but I got diagnosed with ADHD a little under a couple years ago, and I started taking medicine to it, and I've been through like 3 different ones, and some of them really fucked me up, and I did not like them at all. But I finally found the ones that worked, and like once I had one that worked, it just like calmed my mind, and I was like, oh my god, is this what a normal brain is like? I almost like wanted to cry, because I was like, holy shit. Now it's sort of not as strong, but it's sort of tapered off, so I still have to deal with some ADHD symptoms on my own, but it sort of helps, and which is fine. Because a lot of the time, ADHD medicine, they work for a while, but you build up a tolerance really fast for them. So, but it was just funny because we were talking about it in the Anthony Wheeler stream today, and a couple people in there were talking about how they just smoke pot or have edibles to deal with their ADHD, which is what I used to do too for like a couple decades. I would just smoke pot to keep me seated and focused and stuff, just self-medicating for it, because I didn't even realize I had ADHD. I just thought I had horrible discipline, and I thought I needed to just like, I needed something just to keep me seated there, and the weed would do it. It would keep me seated there drawing. I'm sorry, I'm looking for a different pen here. Sick. So, but yeah, then I got diagnosed, and I was like, oh my god. But once I found the right one, it was good, and it actually, I realized I'd been smoking pot to self-medicate more than I realized. I used to smoke pot for fun, but then I realized, probably the last decade of me smoking pot, once I got diagnosed and started learning the symptoms and stuff, that I was actually unknowingly self-medicating by doing that for ADHD symptoms. So I've cut way back on smoking weed now. I do kind of occasionally like this for fun, like once a week or that. But the ADHD medicine has helped me cut back on that too, because I don't need it as much. Or I don't get that anxiety or frustration with myself. Yeah, the real talk was great. I like to get into that. So many of us artists already have ADHD anyway, though, so it's nice to spread awareness. Because, people were saying in the chat too, which is, I think the problem with a lot of the reason people don't get diagnosed is they think it's a trendy thing, or that they're just lazy, or they feel guilty about taking medicine. Like, if someone even said that literally today, they're like, yeah, I don't, you feel like you're a failure if you're taking drugs, like mental drugs for, a disease. But my therapist, I felt the same way, and it's partly why I didn't get diagnosed for a long time. I was like, oh, it's just me being lazy, because it's sort of like one of those fad things too, where people like, they don't really have ADHD, but if they were like being lazy or having trouble getting something done in general that they didn't want to do, they'd be like, oh, it's my ADHD, it's like this fad disease. And I was like, oh, I don't want to be one of those people. Is it even real? But it definitely is. And it's like actually a real, I don't want to say disability, but it is a thing, and it can cause real issues with people. Thankfully, mine's treatable, and I was able to be pretty high functioning on it, but I ranked the highest on I did a 2-number test. I can't remember what it's called off the top of my head now, but like one of the official national tests they do for it. This one did 2 types, and you get a number from both. And one is on hyperactivity, and then I forget what the other one is. But the hyperactivity one, it's like 1 to 4 that you score after this big long questionnaire that the therapist gives you. And I scored 4 out of 4 on the hyperactivity one, which is another thing. I always thought I'm a pretty mellow, go with the flow guy, like especially physically, you know, not really hyper or high strung. And I always thought that's what hyperactive ADHD was, that you're you can't sit still, like when you're kids and they were having kids take Ritalin just because they're hyper, you know, and they're like, oh, it's because they have ADD, you know. I was like, I don't want that, you know. And I'm like, I'm not hyperactive, but I am very hyperactive, but it makes sense. I'm hyperactive in the brain. Physically, it doesn't show, but my brain is definitely thinking 8,000 things a million miles at once, like so much that it can't focus on any one thing, you know. It's like an actual, real brain disability, you know. So but then knowing that, you know, it's just like going to the doctor and finding out you have high blood pressure as you get older or something, you know, and no one really feels guilty for like giving in or gets made fun of, or any stigma about taking high blood pressure medicine or something for cholesterol, or even if someone gets diabetes or something, they start taking insulin. But for some reason with mental drugs, you know, they're like, oh, you know, you don't want to be stuck on those forever or something, or I don't want to give in and have to take drugs for my brain. But it's the same thing, you know, it's just another ailment with your body you have to take a pill for, just like everybody else. So yep, definitely hyperactive mind, and it helps. So, and yeah, so I tried one medicine that was amazing, and it was the one that I almost cried on, because I was just like, oh my god, is this how, you know, my brain felt so quiet and calm, and I could just work all day without, you know, before it, you know, if you're drawing all day trying to keep yourself focused, it's almost like this constant battle in your mind, and it exhausts you after time. So even if you're just sitting here doodling, you could feel exhausted mentally, like you've been working hard all day, and you're like, I don't understand it. After like 4 or 5 hours, I'm just exhausted and I need to take a break. That doesn't even make sense. I'm not even really doing anything. And it was all that internal mental struggle from it. And then things like this. I forget the point I was going to make with that. It was the tolerance though. But yeah, so the thing so it was really great, and it worked really well. I was so like mega locked in. It was almost like I had a new superpower or something, and it was great. And it kind of bummed me out because I actually built up a tolerance to it really fast. So I started on 1 dose, and it didn't really work. So I did that for like 6 weeks. Then I went up a dose, or I went up on the dose, and it sort of started working a little bit. And I was like, oh, that's when it actually started to really have an effect. But then after like a month, it sort of started going back down. So then I went up to the maximum dose for it, and was taking that. And that's when I was just like so locked in and focused. And it was like a beautiful time. I was like, man, imagine what I would have been doing if I felt this way since I was like 20 instead of finding out when I'm like 50, you know. But the thing is, I built the tolerance, so I had to start trying some other medicines, and I spent almost a year going through other ones, and they weren't really working. Like one like made me like, it was for ADHD, but it broke my dick basically. Like I had erectile dysfunction really bad. I couldn't pee very well. Like it hurt to pee and stuff. It was weird. Like and it killed my libido as well. And I even like sexually wise, I tried. You know, I was having trouble getting it up because of the medicine. And even if I took like Viagra, it did nothing. That's how much it messed me up. I was like, fuck this shit. Get me off of it. So I got off that too. And the third time I tried one is the one I'm on now, and it's doing pretty well. It actually helped with some depression I didn't realize I had too, and it's helped with like just patterns of like being too fixated on things that might make you upset or anxiety, like where you just can't let it go. It sort of helped with stuff like that for me. And then, you know, focus, it helps some, not as much as the other one, but sometimes the one that worked but I built up a tolerance to, I use with this one occasionally as needed. Sort of like an Adderall, but none of them are stimulants. It's like I don't handle stimulants well, so. But sometimes I do, like today I took one to kind of help me focus for the stream, and because I hadn't drawn in a couple days, so. So yeah, it's not quite as intense as that few weeks I had when I was working, like you're saying, like with the total quiet mind, but it definitely has helped that. Yeah, you're saying if you could have a quiet mind, see, yeah. Have you been diagnosed with ADHD, or? Yeah, so I don't quite have as quiet of a hyper-focused mind. I guess you could, a lot of the like stimulants like Adderall and stuff are all the same. Like they'll work, but you gotta space them out, and you can't do it daily every day because you build up tolerances to them. So you'll kind of build up a tolerance to all of them. So you sort of gotta take breaks from them or space them out. You know, not take it every day. So that's what I do now. But it does help. And then other things, I want to try to start. I need to get off social media and doom scrolling. That definitely fucks with focus and ADHD, dopamine shit. And also, I need to start meditating more, because just quiet, you know, forcing your mind to be quiet a bit like that will kind of help your brain just be less frazzled in general from that fight to focus in your brain. I think a lot of that is probably because of stimulation from like social media and stuff too. It's hard though, because I'm on it trying to get a following, but every time you get on it to check something, you end up like browsing and doom scrolling and forever. Keep catching yourself when it's too late. You've already spent a bunch of time. Brain's all fucked up again. But yeah, that was quite a ADHD ramble. But yeah, now you know all my recent ADHD stuff. So many artists do have ADHD though, and it kind of makes sense why the more you learn about it. And another thing my therapist talks about too is like it is kind of a superpower, you know, being neurodivergent and having ADHD in a way, you know. It's kind of a hard sell to anyone who don't know what it's like having ADHD, but if you have ADHD and you recognize the symptoms, it kind of makes sense, because like with ADHD, like their minds work a lot faster. Like, you know, you're much better at like multitasking and thinking quicker in general. You know, it's a detriment sometimes, and it's what causes the hyperactivity and stuff. But, you know, you can kind of harness it to a degree, which is kind of what it felt like when I was super focused when that medicine was at its strongest. If you can harness it, you know, you can do amazing stuff. It's weird though, because there's so many different types of ADHD too, and different variations, and everyone's is pretty unique. But it's just funny though, because my wife, you know, she's really smart, and you know, like for testing and stuff, she can ace stuff. Like get like, you know, she went to training for like flight attendant school, and you have to learn all these like airport codes and all this technical stuff, you know, all safety stuff, and she like got almost perfect score every time, where I worried that I wouldn't even pass the class because of the testing, because I'm just so bad at testing. Kind of like on the stream, like when I'm put on the spot, I forget everything. I was like that all through school too. I know something, like if you test me in a way where we're just talking casually about something with no pressure or not being on the spot, I'll know everything. But if you want me to answer the same things on a test, I'll forget everything. It's so annoying. But yeah, your mind working that fast and the multitasking, you know, if you can harness that stuff, you can do some pretty amazing things, because you're used to thinking that way that other people can't do. And like my wife, I was saying, she is really smart, really intelligent person, but she's not the best at multitasking, which it's another thing I started realizing with recognizing ADHD too, because sometimes it would frustrate me in some ways. Because like, well, I can think like this. Why can't you? Why are you struggling with this? You know, it didn't make sense to me. And then I realized it's like, oh, that's because that's not normal. You know, um, you know, for people that don't have ADHD, you know, the whole multitasking thing. So, yeah, my whole life. Oh, wait, let's see. I gotta catch up. Sorry. All the trauma stuff, and since getting some headway there and more peace of mind, ability has dropped significantly. Oh wow. Okay. Um. Oh, that's cool. Yeah. Well, God, I hope you get it fixed. Because yeah, it's another thing too. I've noticed the more I learn about it and the more I get used to having it and dealing with it, I'll just start thinking back to the past too and realize so many things that I did as a kid that were caused problems were related to ADHD. You know, I didn't know. My parents didn't know. Just thought I was being a shithead or something. You know. You know, even things I'd get in fights with my parents about, or the way I did things, like the way I was at doing homework, or the way I tested and stuff. You know, it's like it just taken a different approach for a lot of that stuff. I could have done way better, but we didn't know. Because yeah, at the time, they thought ADD was just the hyper kid who they put on Ritalin, who probably didn't even have anything wrong with him. He was just hyper, you know, and it was like sad. But that was the 80s, those days. Yeah, horrible tester in school too. I would say too, like, you know, your doctor might give you some, you know, medicine to try out. I did that with my doctor too, but they were just kind of going off like physical diagnosis. They aren't having regular conversations about your mental health too, and like evaluating as much. Just, you know, the nature of the jobs. I would, you know, I wouldn't say don't try something they give you, but I would also recommend, if you don't already, having a therapist and a psychiatrist, because they can kind of work together to. That's what helped me get on the right meds too. So I tried one through my doctor, and it kind of messed me up too. And it took me a little while for my body to reset from it, because they can really, those drugs can be really intense on your body, you know, because they are messing with your brain chemistry. But then once I got a therapist, I could actually talk to him about, you know, recognizing what exact things are going on with me, what type of ADHD I have, you know, what is ADHD and what are depression, other things, you know, and that helps me speak to my psychiatrist, because therapists can't prescribe medicine, so you have to see a psychiatrist for that. Psychiatrist I just see every couple months for like 20 minutes, and he just kind of asks me a few questions about how everything's going. You know, I sort of have a lot of that stuff worked out because I've spoken to my therapist about it. And then, yeah, he'll just evaluate how everything's doing, and he'll adjust my medicine as needed, you know. And but he's the one who prescribed it, and he's, you know, we tried a few, but you know, he's done a pretty good job at figuring out what I need, because it is kind of a crapshoot. It's not, you know, it's not an easy thing to get the right medicine for this stuff. Are you saying you agree with that, or you have a psychiatrist and therapist already? Not to call you out if you don't want to talk about it. Also, could I get your therapist name and your psychiatrist name? I'd like to get in touch. Bring them on the stream for an interview, if you don't mind. I'm gonna actually sabotage you with them. When you start streaming, I'm gonna ask you to do a co-stream, and when I show up, I'm gonna have them on camera to ask them questions, personal questions. I don't know if this became as a springy thing, but I was just kind of mindlessly doodling on these, and I kind of like how that sort of wrinkly, sort of springy stuff was looking there. So I think that's working. Got my flex nib here. So, okay, I actually got to wrap up here in just a minute. Actually gotta do a couple things before it's too late. I gotta call the wifey And I gotta actually eat some dinner too. I'm starving. I haven't really eaten all day. I didn't want to like pig out right before going on stream because then you get all tired and groggy. Especially if you haven't eaten all day, you know? I just had some like yogurt and banana. Yeah. When you do start streaming though, I would love to do a co-stream with you though, if you're down for that. Because co-streaming actually is super fun. Are you gonna, do you have a time you want to start co-streaming, or like what's your goal with that? Or not co-streaming, just streaming in general. Sorry, I messed this up a little bit. I was following the outline of the line that goes underneath. I'll have to just fix that later. Yeah, get I want to do that like when I get my full like 3D character thing going here. Like I'm getting set up, which it's gonna take me months, but you know, once I have the variety show going, it'd be kind of funny to do like a old talk show interview show where you interview people, but you could do that like if you're like, so Fantasy Animal Vegan, tell us about your journey here. Oh, and by the way, I need you to be truthful because if you lie, we'll know because I just happen to have your therapist. Come on out. Come on in from the green room, and your psychiatrist. They're here together. And they're on the stream now. Say hello to Dr. Kevorkian and yeah, that'd be kind of fun to do though, even if it's all like pre-planned and as a joke. So I could just have my little character there, like hosting the show. Okay, you'd build like a whole space for it and stuff, huh? A little backdrop and everything. Yeah, get all serious about it. The good thing about being VTubing like this is I'm not on camera, so you can't see my messy office. So I don't have to clean my office before stream. I'll still be doing base cam streams though too sometimes. Sometimes I just don't feel like setting up the whole Unreal Engine thing, and I just want to jump on and draw, you know. But I'll probably always do this for like my scheduled streams, like on Friday, but just for random streams. But yeah, speaking of which, I gotta pop off here. If I work on this more tonight, maybe I'll jump on stream again. Just do it, but for now, for the next hour or so, I gotta jump off. But yeah, thanks for more real talk about ADHD fantasy from today. It's nice to talk about though, and I like it for other people to hear too, even if they're just listening, because if I'd heard people talk about it so much sooner, it would have made a big difference. So all right, well thanks for everyone else who's still here or who came by, and yeah, this has been the wait, what's the keep forgetting the exact profit. Clown box, mysterious clown box. Keep saying creepy clown box because it goes up the top. But, or evil clown box. But yeah. Anyway, thanks all for hanging out, and thanks to TikTok who probably didn't see a thing. So. Yes. All right. Well, you'll see my face next time probably. Especially if I go streaming later, because I don't want my machine running so hard and heating up the room in here. It makes it like an oven in here. At least it did when it was running harder. But now that I got the processor load down. Alright, catch you later. Bye.